What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. It's me, Kegan, of course! And in today's video, I'm going to show you guys how we keep my German Shepherd puppy cool during the extreme summer heat. And also, I'm going to show you guys how my German Shepherd puppy, you guys all know her as Nova, gave my brother a black eye. To get started, Nova has a few spots in my house that she really likes and pretty much spends most of her time. And those spots are the bedroom I am in right now and the living room. And it's pretty obvious summer has started up. You guys can see what the temperature has been like the last few days in my area. And it's just been horrible. Over 100 degrees multiple days. It's so bad. And we really try to do as much as we can to keep Nova as cool and relaxed as possible during this extreme summer heat because we don't want her to overheat. So the bedroom I'm in right now, it's one of Nova's favorite spots in the house. Like I was saying earlier, we have 2 fans and a whole air conditioning system. I'll show you guys a picture of the air conditioning system and one of the fans on screen next to me. The air conditioner, you guys can see, you can set what temperature you want the room as. What we had it as was 65, and then also with the 2 fans in the room, it pretty much just circulates the cold air all around the room and makes it feel so much amazing in this room compared to other rooms in the house and outside. It is such a huge difference. And what we can tell with Nova at night, it seems like she sleeps so much better with the AC and the 2 fans in this extreme heat. But in the living room, we also have a giant AC. You guys will be able to see the picture of that in the living room. It has a fan right in front of it, so it blows all the cold air as far in the room as possible and hopefully cools down the living room and that whole area of the house as much as possible. I think the one in the bedroom works a lot better because it is not as big as a room as the living room. And with my bedroom, I can just close the door and the cold air pretty much stays in this room. With the living room, it doesn't have any doors you can close it. It just goes through the house. I think that is a downfall with the one in the living room. It just keeps expanding and expanding. It really doesn't stay in one exact area. But honestly, it got so cold last night with the AC and the fans. Honestly, I got a blanket on me because I was so cold. That's how cold it was in our bedroom. Another very simple thing that Nova has been absolutely loving the last few days during the heat is just a wet rag. All we do is wet the rag, rinse out all the extra water in it, and give it to her. She absolutely loves to bite on it. If she's sleeping or laying down, we just put the rag on her back, on her stomach, and she absolutely loves it. It cools her down so much. But to show you guys the next few things that keeps Nova cool during this just extreme heat, I have to go into the backyard to show you guys.
A few moments later.
Just made it into my backyard, and the next thing that I want to show you guys that helps keep Nova cool during this extreme hot weather is this little kiddie pool right here. As you guys can see, we don't really put that much water into it at all. We put just enough in there. If she wants to sit in there, she can sit in it. If she wants to drink the water, she can drink it. There's no problem with that. And if she wanted to lay in it, it's still possible. Half her body would be just about in there and it would still keep her cool. The reason it's in direct sunlight right now is because when I came outside, it was under the trampoline, which had it completely covered to keep it cool and everything. But I didn't want to show you guys the kiddie pool under the trampoline just because it would have been a really awkward angle for me and probably for you guys too. It's just a lot better angle out here. And when I'm done recording this little section of this video you guys are watching, I am going to put it back under the shade so it stays as cool as possible in this heat. If you are going to get a kiddie pool or any type of small pool for your dog during the summertime, I recommend getting it in early spring or as soon as they come out, because in my area we got one of the last kiddie pools in stock, and I bet if I went up to the store right now there would be no pools at all. Another thing that can help keep your dog cool during the summer is a simple sprinkler in your backyard. Some dogs absolutely love playing with sprinklers and water. Nova is not the biggest water dog. Like, she doesn't really like the hose at all. Like, she'll chase it and everything, but she really doesn't like getting sprayed with the hose. Even with our hose, you can change it to like a mist and she still doesn't like that. So it really just depends if your dog is a water dog or not. And pretty much those are all the things we've been using to keep Nova cool during the last few days of the start of the summer heat. Not all the things that I suggested to you guys will work for every single dog. Like I was saying kind of earlier, it really depends on what your dog is comfortable with. Like, not all dogs are water dogs. Not all dogs will like the wet rag. It really just depends on your dog. If you guys have any more suggestions on how to keep a dog cool during the summer, make sure to comment them down below to help everybody else out. And now let's go inside so I can tell you the story on how Nova gave Josh a black eye.
A few moments later.
So I've now made it back inside, and it's now time to tell you guys how Nova gave my brother a black eye. So it all started a few days ago. Josh took Nova out front to go to the bathroom, just play with her outside for a while. And they were out there for quite a while. They were out there for like a good 30 minutes to 45 minutes, somewhere around that that time period. And they were just playing around all around the yard, running around, crawling around. And Josh was like bear crawling away from Nova, just like he was pretty much just playing with her all like he normally does. And he just kept bear crawling like across the whole yard, and then he stopped. And he didn't realize Nova was coming up behind him, which I don't know how he didn't realize because Nova chases us all over the yard. But he turned around and Nova was right there. And of course, Nova is a puppy. She doesn't know right from wrong. She doesn't know it's not okay to bite. We're still trying to teach her not to bite at all. But when Josh turned his head to see where she was coming up right next to his face. And I'm not sure if her teeth like hit his eye or she bit, but somehow like Nova did it just right. I'm gonna guess Nova did a little bit of both. Her teeth hit Josh's eye just right at the same time. Maybe her nose or part of her face hit Josh just under his eye. And as you guys can see on the screen, here are some pictures of the day after it happened, 2 days after it happened, and this morning as I'm making this video. It is getting a little bit better every single day, but of course it's just not fun to have a black eye. When it happened, Josh was not happy at all. At first he didn't even realize he had a black eye until my mom said something, and then it's like, Josh, you need to put ice on your eye or do something to it because it was getting so swollen, it was crazy. And after this happened, I told Josh, hey, I'm gonna make a video about this whole event, can you come on and say a few words? And at first he really didn't want to say anything, but I finally convinced him to come on and say something, and here's what he had to say.
Hey guys, it's Josh, and this is what it looks like after a few days. In a way, it does suck because she is a puppy, and I wasn't expecting that at all, and she doesn't know better. We just got to keep teaching her what she can and cannot do, the rights and the wrongs.
But that's all Josh had to say. To summarize, what he pretty much said is we just got to keep training her so she doesn't bite and she learns how to really behave, and he's not mad at her. Which honestly, I don't really know how he could be mad at her. She's a baby, she's a puppy, whatever you guys want to call her. She is still extremely young and doesn't know better. We haven't had enough time. We haven't had her long enough to be able to train her exactly like how we want to train her. And here's Nova's side of the story to this whole event. To summarize what Nova just said, is she means she apologized to Josh and she didn't mean to give him a black eye. If anybody watching this has any tips or tricks or really unique ways how to train a dog, put them down in the comments below. I think everybody would really appreciate it. And getting back to the very first part of this video on how to keep your dog cool during this extreme summer heat, those were just the ways we kept Nova cool during this heat. Everything that I mentioned earlier is not going to work for every single dog. You got to try it out with your dog and really make sure your dog is comfortable with it, especially like the sprinklers or just water all around. Some dogs are just not comfortable with water at all. But always make sure your dog has a bowl of water to drink from. If it's next to their food or outside in the shade, no matter where it is, make sure it always has water in it so the dog can always drink out of it. You never want your dog to be dehydrated. Other than that, I'm going to end the video off right here. Everyone make sure to drop this emoji down in the comments below. If you are new here, make sure to subscribe. We are on the road to 2K. Everyone else make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.